Hey there, welcome back to Hair Transplant Help. I'm Andy. Today I want to delve into something that you guys have actually been asking me about recently, and that was my hair transplant procedure. Specifically, I'll be sharing why I chose the FUE method, and more specifically the Sapphire FUE technique. So let's dive in. Before we get into my decision, let's briefly cover the different types of hair transplant procedures out there. There's the FUE follicular unit extraction, excuse me if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but basically that's where you have the hair removed from the side of your head and the back of your head individually. All the hairs are harvested and then planted into the bald spots on top of your head. On occasion, they will use hair from elsewhere on your body. So for me, they did remove hair from under my beard, which has actually healed up just fine. Nothing wrong with that there. The healing time will depend on each individual. After that, there is the direct hair implantation, which is DHI as it's also known. Funnily enough, this was actually the first hair transplant procedure technique that I looked into. Unfortunately, it's probably the most expensive as well, regardless of where you look, whether it's in Turkey or domestically here in the UK. I found that it was the most expensive, despite probably being the most efficient. The reason I say that is it's specifically done with one tool, the pen-like tool, which will basically remove the hair from the donor area, is then used to put the hair back in to the balding part, and I just thought that was quite an interesting technique, and it also apparently results in quicker recovery. It means also that you don't need to get your head shaved before the operation, although in all honesty, during the recovery process, I don't think that's really an issue. And then finally there's the follicular unit transplantation, and that's FUT. That method has become less and less popular over the years. The reason for that is, unlike the other two techniques where each hair is removed individually, they take a unit of hair, so a strip of hair from your head in one go, and then take the hairs and put them into wherever your specific area of baldness is. The reason I don't like that and never really liked the sound of it was they can leave a scar, and also I think it's actually meant to be quite painful in terms of the method of healing, and overall just coming back from that can be a bit more traumatic, I think. Overall, it was something that I didn't really feel comfortable going for, despite the fact that it's probably the cheapest technique out there. Each method, of course, has its pros and cons, and they can range from cost to invasiveness, and that just depends on your individual choice. So why did I opt for the FUE technique? Well, I'm going to be 100% honest here with you. I had already decided that I was going to go to Turkey to get my hair transplant done, and the reason for that was cost. And the reason I've got the FUE is mainly due to cost. If I had had unlimited amounts of money, then there's a good chance I would have went with the DHI method. But again, I didn't have unlimited cash, so I went for the FUE. The reason I went for the FUE over the FUT was, as I said before, I really didn't want to go through the scarring, the recovery, the overall painfulness of what I would say the operation would feel like. And now, there is one more factor to this, and that is that within the FUE, if you're going to get it in Turkey, a lot of the clinics will offer what's known as Sapphire FUE, and that is basically just called that because they use a sapphire blade for the operation. Now, the reason for that is it's apparently supposed to give more specific, more accurate cuts, smaller cuts, meaning that you will have less scarring and a quicker recovery time. And as far as I was concerned, anything that can give me a quicker recovery time sounds good. I feel like I'd already somewhat compromised on the fact that I wasn't getting it done in the UK and I wasn't getting it DHI. So I decided if I go with the Sapphire, I was still getting what I would consider to be a good quality technique. So it's a vastly important operation. It's a huge amount of money regardless of what way you look at it, and I wanted something that was going to get me the best results, and that's why I plumped for the Sapphire FUE. Obviously, with every technique comes its pros and cons, but after weighing it up carefully, I just felt like the Sapphire FUE was the one for me, and it meant that when I was going into the operation, I was 100% happy with my choice, which led to being 100% confident in the fact that it was going to work. And that's something that I would encourage each and every one of you, if you're thinking about getting a procedure, is look at every aspect of it, not just the cost, but what are the possible pain implications, what are the recovery implications, and take it from there. It's very important that you don't base your decision just on one factor. So hopefully that's given you a clear insight as to why I chose the procedure I did, and giving you some useful information. If you did find the video helpful, then it would be great if you give it a like and subscribe for more content, and share your experiences in the comments below. That is actually the reason that I made this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.